Welcome back, everyone. This is Sports Den. I'm Blythe Whaley in our 20th season, episode 2. And today we're joined by a new face to our show, Mary Rominger. And Mary, welcome to our show.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. New face, new opportunity, and there's so many great sports in this area, so I can't wait to relive it all every week with you guys.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun. And what is also fun is, of course, we just celebrated Labor Day weekend. Did you get to do anything fun while you're here?
The long weekend, meaning all the teams had to crunch in their games the week prior, but I went to the Minnesota State Fair, ate my weight in food, and I can still feel it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I went on an alpine slide. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it was kind of crazy. You go down through a forest on basically a bobsled type thing.
Oh wow, adventurous.
It was nuts. Recommend it. It goes faster than you think. But I'm bummed I missed out on the fair food. But I'm sure at least some of our teams will have some good concession stand food, which is somewhat like the fair. So I'm excited for that. But we've had some big football matchups here already this season, and one of those being our Stillwater versus our Centennial football team. And they have matched up. This is our 5th meeting in 6 years, and Centennial's won 3 of those last 4 matchups. But Mary, let's see what happened here in this year's matchup.
It's definitely a growing rivalry. Centennial hosts Stillwater area to open the 2022-23 campaign. This time last year, it was Stillwater winning the matchup by just a 7-0 final. The Ponies went on to have a strong 8-2 season. It's 3-0 late in the first. Junior receiver Joe Hoheisel bulldozing through for the Yak all the way to the house. Stillwater in front, 7-3. Final moments of the quarter, Cougars cap off the drive with the Max Shikenjansky QB sneak for the go-ahead touchdown. This game is just getting started. Buckle up. Centennial adds to its lead with halftime nearing as junior Maverick Harper punches it in. Less than a minute to go in the half. Never a doubt with Shikenjansky at the helm. Deep pass to senior Thomas Jacobs. Ponies closing in on the deficit. Out of the half, Dylan Cummings hands it off to Harper. Harper breaks free into the open field. He'll go all the way. Big lead for the home team. 28-14 late in the ball game. Shikenjansky airs it out. There's a diving catch into the end zone to bring the Ponies within 7. From there, Stillwater pulls off the unbelievable come from behind 29-28 victory, all thanks to a late touchdown and a game-winning 2-point conversion from Shikenjansky. And then after that, you have to watch this. The Stillwater defense comes through in the clutch with a big-time stop. And what about that, Blythe, for the first game to start us off, a close game for that matter. Cummings finished with 186 yards passing, Harper 26 rushing, 2 touchdowns. Again, 29-28. Stillwater.
Now, what a way to kick it off. You gotta love that, to have that first game really bring that intensity. Next up for our schools, White Bear Lake is at Blaine there last Thursday. As we get things started, White Bear Lake, Gavin Knutson hands it off to Chris Heim to punch it in for those early points. White Bear Lake off to the races here as they get going. Gavin Knutson throws it long on that far side of your screen. Rayshawn breaks, has no brakes. He races all the way into the end zone to help White Bear Lake get up by 13. But now Blaine, they got to get things going. Frank Daniels flings it up, finding Matthew Planker's 36-yard gain as he reels that one in. Frank Daniels now this time handing it off. Michael Douglas gaining the 11-yard touchdown, helping Blaine get into the lead. Kendall Staden has her shining moment coming out to put the Bengals up by 4, which really is going to help them a lot. But this time, Frank Daniels, he runs it. He showed us he can pass. He showed us he could hand it off. But now he finds his way into the end zone to help his team. 24-13 our score. But ending things off, White Bear Lake trying to make a comeback. That was Rayshawn Breaks racing into the end zone, but not enough. The Bengals get the victory at 24-19 at home. Now we take a look at that post-game summary, and we get to see Of course, our Bengals having just that exciting start, getting the victory. They'll play again on Friday against Minnetonka. That should be a good game. But of course, Plankers with that touchdown, Douglas a touchdown, Daniels a touchdown. So you think about how many players are really contributing to those points on the board. Feels pretty good, Mary.
Next up, Spring Lake Park hosts Cretin-Durham Hall to round out our coverage on the gridiron. Spring Lake Park is fresh off of a 6-3 season. Panthers in control early in this one, jumping out to the quick 8-0 lead. CDH digs deep and finds the answer as senior signal caller Ryan Warford sends a deep ball to Jalen Gales. Nice catch by Gales that shakes off his defender and scores. Later, Panthers are impossible to slow down in the red zone. They'll score another touchdown and successfully execute the 2-point conversion. It's all Spring Lake Park at this point. Quick throw over the goal line to open up the fourth quarter. In the end, it's Spring Lake Park winning 42-17, an absolutely dominant performance to open up the season. Next up, SLP will face Benilde St. Margaret's, and look at the stats from Spring Lake Park. Talso, quarterback, 3 touchdowns, Ricker, a touchdown, Smith, 1 touchdown for himself, and that next matchup with Benilde St. Margaret's will be on North Metro TV Live.
And as we look at our football schedule here, Centennial first up. That next matchup they have is versus STMA, and that one is going to be a tough one. They have, that rivalry over the years. Of course, last year, STMA got the win in playoffs, and so Centennial going to want to come back with some vengeance, Mary.
I think all eyes in this area will be on that matchup. Two tough guys going at it.
Yeah, now we look at the Blaine Bengals. They have that big matchup highlighted there on your screen versus Centennial. Love when our teams go head-to-head. Both the Bengals and Centennial always get amped up for that big one. And lastly, Spring Lake Park, of course, that one highlighted is Cooper. And Cooper, they have an LSU commit, and so that one is going to be a tough one. They know they got some players that really can bring it. And also Irondale is going to be a big one on the docket, referred to as the battle on the block. So, Mary, it should be interesting.
I mean, if you look from September 8th all the way to October 19th, that's a tough schedule for Spring Lake Park, and rightfully so. They proved that they deserve a tough schedule after that 42-17 opening victory to the season.
As we get things started on the soccer front, we're going to head to the pitch, and Centennial, one of those big teams for us, they have really always been kind of that powerhouse of a program, especially on the soccer front. Girls, guys, making it to the state tournament, making those runs in playoffs, what have you. But Mary, we're pumped to take a look at. We get girls and guys, a couple of highlights from them here in the past weeks.
Lots to get to.
We're going to kick things off here. That first matchup, Centennial at Coon Rapids. Our boys at the Cardinals Athletic Complex taking on Coon Rapids. This one starts off, Centennial is going to test the keeper early, and that's what they should do. They lock this one on net. Having to pull it down is Luke Rising, and he really did have to rise up to get this one. But flipping the other way, our Cardinals trying to track this down, and you always need some help from your friends. The keeper gets that help, the defender clears it out, and now Centennial back on the attack, slotting this one forward, but allowing that ricochet to come back. Cal Babish nets this one, that go-ahead goal, and sometimes, soccer, you only need that one. But now slotting this one over, the header diving towards that keeper, and he scoops it up. This one stays at 1-0, but this one slotting through the middle. You see that great turn, but bodies colliding and no call. You see this one continue on. Keeper laying out and on it, making sure he solidified that save. But Centennial, love this effort. See that first touch, going off the crossbar, trying to get it again, that bouncing ball after the header. But you gotta love when guys are giving it their all out there, and everyone, like Noah McCarr, did so. But Centennial got the victory 1-0 for the guys. Can the ladies do the same? Getting to see Addie Van Zee, great first touch, soaring past everyone, even the keeper, slots this one into the net for that go-ahead opening goal. But Van Zee, again, still has this ball, passing it over to the side. Halassis fires what looked like could have been a cross, but finds it off the crossbar and in. Centennial now up 3-0 as we see Izzy Sipe, triple team, finds her opening up and in, and now the sophomore helps her team move even further ahead. We saw one Sipe score. Can there be a second Sipe to get a net or a ball in the net? And Gabrielle Sipe makes it happen. Centennial finding that victory, but up by 7 right now. And you see them having to fight inside the box. The ball basically has a timeshare, how long it's spent in there as it goes in. And Nora Helvig got that goal. The last one, can Centennial get into double digits? They can with this one. Up and over the keeper, a 10-0 victory. The Cougars off to the races early on. As we take a look at those post-game summaries, we'll first start with our boys game. Cal Babish getting that lone goal, but it's what solidified this win for them. A huge victory in soccer when you see that big one making all the difference. But 3 shots from McCard, so also contributing a good amount. And for Rye, he didn't allow any goals. So again, the keepers, they play a big part in what that 1-0 game is as well.
Staying with Centennial, later in the week, the Cougars boys and girls soccer teams host Blaine. We begin with the boys. The Bengals won their first 2 matches of the season, 4-1 and 4-0, but were most recently edged by Robbinsdale Armstrong 2-1 in kind of a throwaway game. Centennial still undefeated. Bengals Zachariah Sherian strikes first in the 29th minute. Later, Zach Newby takes the corner kick. It's deflected in front by senior defenseman Alex Thoreen. Blaine now owns the 2-0 advantage. To the second half, the goals are pouring in for Blaine. There's another to make it 3-0. 14 to go in the game. There's the through ball to Ryan Bowman. Bowman one-on-one with the keeper, and it's in. From there, Blaine records the clean sheet over conference foe Centennial 5-0. Next up for Blaine, they take on Andover, and then Centennial will be Anoka. The girls take the pitch now. Both the Bengals and Cougars enter the game 2-0 on the season. Only one will come away with a record untarnished. Blaine has yet to let up a goal this season, largely in part to goalkeeper Maddie Way. The senior stout between the posts. This game is silent through the first half. Any mistake will prove to be costly. Both goalkeepers showing exactly why. They have winning records coming in. Second half, Blaine opens up scoring. Finally, Bengals at work in the midfield. Then it's Kendall Stadden who nails one from the 18 to make it 1-0. Later, it's a header in front off of the corner kick that gives the Bengals the 2-goal lead. Stadden recorded the only 2 goals to guide Blaine to the 2-0 victory. Now 3-0 on the year. Way earns her 3rd clean sheet of the season. Now let's hear from the Minnesota Gopher commit herself, Stadden.
I think the key is confidence. This team came in here. It's a very deep team, and we just need to beat Centennial. They're our rival, and we have the courage to do it, and it's just confidence.
A couple tests coming up, including Maple Grove at home, but what is this team's potential?
High. It's high potential, and we're going to try to go all the way, and all we can give it is our best, but this is the year, I believe.
You scored 2 goals tonight. Take me through those 2 goals.
First goal, I just think the whole team had to have grit. We had to push it all the way up the field. I got the ball and I had to take it a little bit inside, put it near post, and I just think after that it was the momentum.
And then the second goal, just a towering header rising above, but what a great ball from that corner.
I said, hey, hit my head, and that's exactly what she did.
and then afterwards you had a little finger to the lips for the fans at Centennial. It must be one of the most fun parts of high school soccer to play in big rivalry games like these.
Yeah, it is. And I usually don't celly. I don't like, sometimes it's a little bit unsportsmanlike. I get it's part of the game. I think that's one of my first time in 4 years, but they were coming at my freshman defender and they were saying some not nice things to her. And we don't do that as a student section at Blaine. And so I think I just had to show them a little bit of what we had.
Well, it was all in good fun. And again, a huge victory tonight on the road. Blaine comes around and defeats their rival Centennial for the first time in 4 years by a final of 2-0. Kendall Stadden, the star of the game, with 2 goals. Thanks for your time tonight, Kendall.
Thank you so much.
As we head to the tennis courts here at Blaine High School, we get to see Molly Garber, the senior in #1 singles, taking on Lauren Klein, the freshman. So you get to see the fresh meat taking on the lady who has been there. We've seen her here on our North Metro TV airways, and early on, Klein just barely dripping that one over the net. Not enough. Garber can't get there, but this time, Klein, not enough Wheaties today. Can't quite get that one over the net, and back to Garber. Getting to see Garber winning 5-1 in this first set, and Klein doesn't get it over that net. Garber wins the first set. Get to see her celebrating with some water. 6-1 in the first set. Now trying to find if she's going to be able to get it in the second. Garber mishits this one into the alley, but getting up 3-1 in the second set. Klein hits it long, too powerful, overcompensated. We saw her miss that one trying to get it over, but match point, Klein doesn't get her serve inside that box. Always a disappointing part when it's something you practice all the time.
Last year I struggled with returning a lot, and I figured out how to return better, so I was not as afraid for a serve coming at me, and I think that was a big part of it. Struggled to hit a little bit in warm-up, so I was like, okay, I just got to get the points where I can get them. So I went back to being more defensive. I used my athletic ability of what I had to get to the balls, and I think it ended up turning out good. Got a little frustrated, but it ended up pretty good. We're like a family, so I would say it's just like older siblings graduating, going to college, and the younger ones coming up. It's just one big family, so I think everyone just impacts each other in different aspects of it, whether I'm the only one returning from varsity, but all these girls have experience being out on the court, and it's great.
We've come to a part of our show where we have to wind things down, but we've had so many great highlights, so many good performances from our teams here already early on.
I mean, we laughed, we cried, we smiled the Jimmy V way, but all in all, I mean, we saw big-time wins, big-time losses, some close games. We got it all in that first week of action. I love the first week of fall high school sports. I mean, I guess football was the first. It was the first week, and soccer, tennis have all been in action. But man, it's just exhilarating. So much fun. Yeah,
to finally have games, all their hard work paying off as they get to actually have the fans out there cheering them on. But Mary, welcome to our show here at Sports Den. We're glad you're here. But make sure you guys are tuning in, finding out what our schedule is, finding those games that we'll be at, and we'll be seeing you here next time on Sports Den. On behalf of Mary Rominger, I'm Blythe Whaley saying so long till our next Sports Den on Monday. Thanks, guys.